When the last Ur-Quan was free of psychic compulsion, when the last free Dnyarri was dead, the combined might of the Ur-Quan star fleets met in orbit above the Dnyarri homeworld. They had come together to make two important decisions. First, how to punish the few frightened Dnyarri left below on the planet's surface. Second, how to ensure that never again would the Ur-Quan be made slaves. The first decision was made swiftly. The Dnyarri would not be allowed to die. That was too kind a fate. Instead, the creatures would be genetically modified into sub-sentience. They would become dumb animals. These low creatures would be further debased by serving the Ur-Quan for all eternity in the most demeaning way the Ur-Quan could imagine. Acting as translators, making physical contact with other species whom the Ur-Quan now considered grossly inferior to themselves and revolting. The second decision, how to ensure their freedom permanently, caused great turmoil. Following the successful Ur-Quan slave revolt, the Ur-Quan met to decide how to ensure their freedom. The Green Ur-Quan, who called themselves the Khazar-Za in honor of the Ur-Quan who triggered the revolt, wished to establish the path of now and forever, which required that all other sentient species must become slaves of the Ur-Quan, or be forever imprisoned beneath an impenetrable force shield. Leading the opposition to this plan was Kora-Ah, a charismatic fleet officer. Kora-Ah proposed a simpler alternative, the Eternal Doctrine. Simply put, this scheme called for the systematic eradication of all sentient life in the universe aside from the Ur-Quan. Captain, if these positions seem to you extreme or unwarranted, you must remember that the Ur-Quan had been unwilling slaves for millennia, and that each of them had to remain in agony for years in order to defeat the Dnyarri. The followers of Khazar-Za and Kora-Ah were all on the brink of madness, but neither side would submit, so they fought a bloody civil war. The civil war between the Green Ur-Quan and the followers of Khazar-Za and their opponents, the death-dealing Kora-Ah, lasted for decades. It is likely they would have annihilated each other were it not for a chance discovery by the Khazar-Za, a precursor battleship. The vessel was huge, many times the size of Ur-Quan's vessels. The precursor ship sliced through the Kora-Ah forces in days. The Kora-Ah were defeated. However, in their victory, the Khazar-Za were humble. They realized that there was a chance that they were wrong, and the Kora were right. Instead of destroying the Kora-Ah, the Khazar-Za let them go, directing them to make their way through the stars, traveling against the spin of the galaxy. The Khazar-Za would travel in the opposite direction, and when the two Ur-Quan forces meet, they would fight again in a ritual combat with the precursor battleship given to the winner. Captain, this is happening here and now. The Khazar-Za, the Ur-Quan who enslaved Earth, are fighting their ritual battle against the Kora-Ah in a large area centered near the Crater's constellation. If the Kora-Ah win this battle, Captain, the Khazar-Za will stand aside and let them kill us all. We believe that it is your destiny to prevent this from happening. This is the last historical item we have for sale.